everyone, welcome back to the Everton career mode. Our first season was so successful, 71 points, third place in the league. We secured Champions League football for the following season and lifted the FA Cup. It was an amazing season, but now it's time to kick on to season 2, guys. Here we go. I am so excited and I am going to get straight into it. Here are the board objectives for the following season. Youth development hasn't changed. We need that one player from the first season to play in at least half the games this season. And I'm going to concede defeat on this, guys, because I don't think it's realistic for a youngster to play so many games for us this season, which means that all the other goals are all that more important to hit, and brand exposure is our highest priority. We need 10 wins this season, which is laughable because we won so much more last season, and we need to sign one veteran player. Now, that may sound easy, but the way FIFA defines a veteran player is someone who's minimum 30 years of age and minimum 85 overall. And this doesn't scale in terms of what club you are, what star rating. It's always like that. So watch out for your own career modes. This is going to be really challenging. To find a player of that criteria and to still keep this Everton career mode realistic is going to be tough. In terms of our financials, we need to sign 2 crucial players and at the same time make a profit of 50 million. I feel like with the prize money from Champions League, other cups, and the Premier League, this is very doable, and I'll make the 2 signings happen. Now here we go, guys. Domestic and continental success. What does the board expect from us this upcoming season? Top 4 and semi-finals of the FA Cup. I feel like that's ambitious but fair, and it's in line with my own ambitions. I feel like after storming into that spot last season, I feel like I want to retain. And if we did it the first season, we need to be able to do it the second season. It's going to be tough. It's a tough ask always. And it's going to be an arms race from all the clubs. But I feel like we can do it, guys. And continental success. Reach the semifinals of the Champions League. Anything else? That's a bit ludicrous. We're in the group stages automatically. And maybe a realistic goal would be, I don't know, get out of the group stage, maybe quarterfinals. No. Reach the semifinals. All right, no problem. Be one of the top 4 clubs in Europe. I feel like that's a bit much. But we're going to have to try our best. And we have 131 million, almost 132 million. What a war chest. That's a war chest and a half. And I suppose they're giving us the funds and the support, but this is going to be incredible to see this season unfold. All right, guys, let's see what we can do with this money. Okay, guys, the first order of business was to sign a veteran. I put together a list of players that met both the age and overall criteria and that were sort of realistic transfers. Now, do I think any of these players would actually come to Everton in real life? No, probably not, but at the same time, stranger things have happened at football, and honestly, we needed this transfer because I don't intend to get sacked and discontinue this series, so we really needed this transfer, and I tried to keep it as realistic as possible. I will unveil my choice here in just a second because I'm going to present to you guys all of the transfers for this summer transfer window. I did it early on in the first day of the transfer window, and so here we go, guys. The new additions to the Everton family. First up, Giovanni Di Lorenzo off the free agency. What a pickup this is. You might remember him. He played most of the games for Italy during the Euros, including that final against England, and he is just amazing. He's got the speed and the stamina, which are requirements for me at fullback. He's also apt defensively and can put a cross in. Now, Max Aarons is still our starting right back, don't get me wrong, but he will provide competition and back up to this position, which is something we haven't had at any time in this series so far. And he's going to take pressure and minutes off of Dean when he needs, and there's going to be games to rotate, so he's going to get plenty of playing time, and apparently at 28 he can still go up, so this is a great free signing. He's also reuniting with his teammate Alan. They played together in Napoli in the 2019-2020 season, and this is significant also because our big money transfer and our veteran transfer is Kalidou Koulibaly, guys. Now you decide for yourself if this is a realistic transfer, but I'm going to make the case that it's plausible. So here's my case. First of all, like I said, he's reuniting with his former teammates, so that's a bonus. This is a player who's actually linked to Everton in the past, and he's coming from a team that isn't in the top echelon in Napoli. He's coming to a better league in the Premier League. He's going to get a wage rise. And I think the kicker is that in real life, currently, as this is recorded, Rafa Benitez is the manager of Everton. Benitez is the guy who actually brought Koulibaly to Napoli from Genk in 2014. So it's plausible to think he could maybe convince him. All these factors put together make it maybe plausible. I had to choose one player and I wanted to keep it realistic. I chose Koulibaly as well because he solves our defensive woes potentially. I wanted to bring in a top quality CB. I mean, this guy is world class. World class. 87 sprint speed, 94 strength. I mean, this guy is a beast. Designed for the Premier League. 90 defensive awareness, 88 standing tackle. I mean, what can this guy not do? He's a bit weak on the ball, but we'll pair him with Holgate. Or maybe we'll get Godfrey up. And this will just be a great CB partnership. He's an elite CB, guys. Still in the prime of his career. And we got him for 40 million because his contract was ending. This was a steal. And I am delighted to have this guy on the team. In terms of other areas of the team that I wanted to improve, I wanted to get in more attacking options. And we brought in Neil Mopai, guys, for 17 million. He was suggested in the comments, and he's a great suggestion because we do have that French base. We got Dean, Doucouré, Alan St. Maximin. It makes perfect sense. Brighton got relegated, so we're picking up a player from them. Makes perfect sense, and he is a profile similar to Richarlison, just a fast, nippy striker, moving around, a great poacher with great finishing. He's going to score goals for us for sure. But given the amount of games we have, Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, the league, I felt like we needed more strength and depth at this position, so I brought in Ivan Toney as well, guys. Suggested in the comments just the same for 15 million, so we spent 32 on the pair, and this guy is a similar profile to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, that target man who has that bit of strength and aerial presence, and I think he's going to do well for us as well. I'm so excited for all these guys, and now we're left with 42 million in the transfer budget, 300,000 in the wage, and this is going to go into one player which I'll discuss later on. We spent the next little while in between our office and the local restaurant extending our players' contracts. Now, a lot of them were contract expiring, so we definitely needed to do something about that. But in general, I wanted to update the squad as a whole because some of them were underpaid from the start. And now that we're a Champions League football club, or certainly a club with ambitions to be in the top 4 every season, I felt like updating our wage structure to reflect this was a good idea. Adds a little bit more realism and honestly a little bit more difficulty because a lot of the times there's just a little bit too much money to spend on transfers, and I wanted to dial it down a little bit to make it a little bit even more difficult. And now this is our wage structure. The crucial players make above 100,000, and then you've got your important players, your rotational pieces who make a little bit less, strikers make a little bit more. There's some variation there. Gordon and Branthwaite, those are like sort of upper echelon youth players, they make a little bit more, and then you've got your bottom feeders, your youth players who don't make that much. This is our transfer budget after all of this, 25 million and 120,000 in wage. So that plus any money from incoming transfers will be the remainder of the money we have left to spend on one more player, guys, and I will discuss that later. In terms of what we have going forward, this is our squad, and we're playing in the Community Shield, guys, against Liverpool. Now, Liverpool-Everton in a game like this hasn't happened in a while, and just in general, a game against Liverpool, I'm always up for it. It's always a goal fest. And here we go, guys. Let's go.
Will you please make some noise as we welcome our visitors, Liverpool, and your Everton. And the Everton lineup is here. Number 1, Jordan Pickford.
Liverpool definitely look ready for this season, guys, and they're up to their usual shenanigans of passing around like I don't exist. Games against Liverpool for me are always sort of intense and heated, but a Community Shield game has a little bit of a different vibe for me always. It's just a little bit less intense, and just in general, we're preparing for that first game of the season to start the Premier League well. But Liverpool was straight at it. They haven't changed their squad much. They still got Jota, Firmino, Salah, and Mane up front, and they are still countering. They're still pressing high, and they're doing Liverpool things. Again, they had a number of good opportunities, Mane here, great dribbling, and Pickford had to make a save. Pickford again looks up for this season, making save after save. And for the most part, Liverpool were dominant in this first half, and they looked the more threatening side. They had a number of opportunities here. Off of a corner, this time we actually get beat, and it's just wide. We had a decent opportunity at the end of the first half and a different type of play. We passed it around very nicely, found an opening on this left-hand side, and Cantwell ghosts in and finds a great position as always. The second half was much different, guys, and look at this. What is that from Godfrey? It's one pass after that, and Isaac, who came on, scores. It's 1-0, and that was horrendous. Godfrey, this is exactly why you're on ball-playing defender training, because you need to be able to do better at dealing with pressure, at taking the ball out, and then accurately passing. What was that? That was just atrocious from Godfrey, and if you keep doing that, I'm going to bench you for whole game. No questions asked, or Keane, or anyone. Liverpool straight off the kickoff, look how aggressive they are, and they continue to press, and this is what I mean by Liverpool doing Liverpool things. They press, and the first thing on their mind is attack, attack, attack. They make a few good passes here, they play the ball around. Now we're backpedaling, we're a little bit shell-shocked. It falls to Keita, it's 2-0, guys, and Davies gets injured on the back of that, and it's just defensive shambles. And I thought, and I understand that this is the Community Shield, but I thought we would be able to sort of fix our defensive woes, but so far that's not been the case. At least we were able to attack. Alan St. Maximin has a decent chance, and we're starting to get back into this game. Liverpool continue to press. Finally, they make a mistake, and we're on to our bikes on the races. Calvert-Lewin plays in a very, very nice ball into Richarlison. He takes a few strides and puts it in the back of the net, guys. What a goal from Richarlison, and this striker partnership proves yet again to be the best part of our team. It works every time, and Richarlison drifting into these wide areas in our instructions is just working like a charm. I love it, and I love to see this. It's 2-1, guys, but obviously Liverpool is not going to sit pat. And look at this, guys. One pass beats the entire midfield. They play a little 1-2. It goes again. Look at this. This is straight off the kickoff again. What a pass from Salah. Isak gets on the end of it, and it's 3-1, guys. And this is how ultra-aggressive Liverpool can be. Straight off the kickoff, they make one pass back, bypass the whole midfield, and what a play from Salah and Isaac. 3-1. I mean, what are you going to do? We continue to attack. We put a very tantalizing ball in here. It's a bit of a shambles here. One block, two block, another one. Alisson makes a save. Allen gets it. It's a deflection, and it's 3-2. And all of a sudden, from a 0-0 in the first half, this becomes a goal fest, and 3-2. I mean, this is scenes, from Wembley Stadium. But, I mean, this is what you want. I love a little bit of atmosphere. And don't get me wrong, I'm trying throughout this game because it's Liverpool, and I want to beat them. But, I mean, it's the Community Shield, and I love good fun here. Liverpool gets one more chance late in the second half, and Pickford makes a save, but Henderson gets his own rebound, and it's 4-2, guys, and that's how it ends. I mean, defensive shambles is the one-word summary for this game, and it's something we cannot let seep into the first game of the season, especially since that first game is against Aston Villa, and that's our nemesis opponent, and I am not losing that game. Like you guys see, Liverpool win the Community Shield. Fair play. Alright, so the board is reminding us they gave us an almost 80 extra million to a total of 132 million in transfers, and they expect us to improve the squad. I am much obliged, and we will be dipping into the market. We are looking for that whole top row, guys. Central midfielders, box to box, especially a defensive-minded midfielder. And we're looking for someone who is instantly going to improve our squad. 80 plus overall, crucial player, walks into the starting lineup. And the rest of the instructions are just looking for left backs and strikers world class, just in case we need to sell Dean, Richarlison, something like that. Contingencies are always important. Now, in terms of what happened so far in the transfer window, we had an early offer for Davies, and simply I had to check whether or not I had to sell this player. I won't go into the very fine details. You can find that in a Google Doc in the description below under the transfer section. What you do is a simple check. You go to the team sheets, you check the teams overall. In this case, Inter is an 82 rated club. We are an 81 rated club, so Inter is higher. But then you apply certain modifiers. You check whether or not each club plays in the Champions League, what the prestige is according to FIFA, stuff like that. And it comes out that we don't have to sell this player to Inter. Again, we declined. I have no intention of selling Davies. He's a great rotational player and a perfect box-to-box player. I will make a very detailed video on my realistic career modes and how exactly I run them, explaining everything in detail. It's just a little bit delayed, but it is coming. In terms of what happened in the transfer window from then on, Inter offered again, this time for Gray, and this is the second time they wanted to loan in Gray. It was in the winter before. They also wanted to loan him in. A little bit weird, declining that. We sold Gbamin, guys. We got 28 million for him, and all this money is gonna go into buying the central midfielder. We have 24 million allocated from the board, which totals 54 million, and all of that is gonna be spent on one player, guys. That's central midfield player, and I want you guys to go into the comment section and start naming guys. Now, there was a number of other things happening. A number of offers from Townsend. I rejected all of them. He was the league leader in assists, and they weren't good enough offers for me to accept. Asti went on loan to Basel with an option to buy. Nkunku to Anderlecht, again with an option to buy. It's difficult for a club to accept in this game if there isn't that option to buy. Townsend again was offered from Bilbao. I negated all of these. They weren't good enough clubs. They weren't good enough offers, and I'm not letting my best sub wide midfielder go. Now, you might be wondering why Man City is on this screen. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But in fact, it does, because they offered for one of our players. And I told you this would happen. They would come in for one of our players, and they are way higher rated than us. They're an 86 rated club. They have very good prestige. So all this amounts to the fact that we have to say goodbye to one of our players, guys. Unfortunately, the time has come to say goodbye to Alan. And it's unfortunate because we're looking for a CM, and now we have to look, assuming Alan accepts their offer, because he can still decline it, but we are obliged to sell. He's valued at almost 30 million, and then you add different modifiers. Again, go to my Google Docs if you want to know the details. His morale is good, that's 10%. He's a crucial player, that's 20%. So 30% of his value, and I have to sell. So an extra 30% on 30 million is about 39 million. So anything above that I have to accept. We got a $42 million offer. And that's it, guys. We accepted. If he comes to terms with Man City, then Alan will join Ederson, Gabriel Jesus, Fernandinho, and he will be a City player. It makes sense for his career. He's 31, and it makes sense for us because he's an aging player. We'll take the money. Better sell a player 1 year too early than 1 year too late, I guess. Guys, I can't believe this might be Alan's last game for our club. I just have no words. Maybe he'll decline Man City. Who knows? I doubt it, but anything can happen. Either way, life goes on. Doucouré is coming back from injury. Late last season, he broke his toe. He's back, and he's going to go straight back in because Tom Davies picked up an injury against Liverpool in the Community Shield, so he's out for 4 weeks. And we're facing Villa in the first game, guys. We got thrashed last time at Villa Park 5-1, and FIFA is out to get you. Like, this, out of all games, has to be the first game of the season. They play a 4-3-3. It's going to be counter-attacking football, and they crossed a lot last time, guys. Just a bunch of crosses all over the place from their fullbacks and from their wingers. They have pace merchants up front, and counter-attacking is going to be very dangerous from them. Ollie Watkins and Bailey are very skilled, along with their pace. El Ghazi out wide is maybe a little bit less pacey, but very technical. And Ings is on the bench. He actually scored a hat-trick last time against us. So many weapons up front. And behind them, McGinn and Sanson are the technical footballers that allow Villa to play the way they want. They move it into midfield, and they are able to spray balls out wide onto the on-running wingers. Behind them should be a central defensive midfielder who anchors this play. And Villa have a number of them in their club, Douglas Luiz, Nakamba, but they're opting to go for Reina, who is their newest signing, and granted he's an 80 overall, but Defensive awareness 37, standing tackle 37. He doesn't have great work rate. We are going to abuse this all day long. You're going to see how easy it is to play around Reina. It's going to be ridiculous. If we just get past their initial midfielders, we are going to leave this guy in the dust. This is the weakness we need, and this is what we're going to exploit. The rest of their backline is actually quite good. Matty Cash and Target fit into the way they want to play. Their crossing is excellent. And then they have two fast center backs who are going to be very hard to play around. Usually I like running at people with Richarlison and Allan Saint-Maximin. This might be slightly less effective. Now the way we're going to set up is a 4-4-2. I'm going to go offensive here. I'm going to pair Doucouré and Allen. It might be his last game. I'm going to play Godfrey to pair Koulibaly because of the pace that Villa has. I want to have my pastiest CBs, and we're just going to go with our strongest lineup other than that, and we're going to try to win this game, guys. This is our nemesis opponent. Villa thrashed us 5-1, but it's time to get our revenge.
Please make some noise as we welcome our visitors Everton and Aston Villa.
Alright guys, we started very well against Villa, and it's not surprising that we're on the front foot early because Villa tends to sit back, soak pressure, so we do have a lot of the ball and fashion our chances. But nonetheless, it was very positive, and Allen got a really good volley here, saved by Martinez. Now Villa would slowly get back into the game, and the key for us was to defend these crosses because you knew they were going to come in, and we did a very good job early on. And the next key was to abuse Reina. And here we go. Doucouré a pass into the midfield. No pressure on the ball from Reina. None. And again, he's not going to do anything defensively in this play. Allan Saint-Maximin plays in Calvert-Lewin, who's on to the races. He slips in Gakpo. And guys, what do you think is going to happen? 1-0. That's what I'm talking about. Outside foot shot from Gakpo. How iconic of him. But I mean, this whole play was down to Reina's ineptitude. It really was. Because he makes no effort at any point during this play to get back, and you're going to see it. He's jogging back. He's jogging back. This is criminal. Everyone is running past him, and the CDM is jogging back. If that was my player, I would have roasted him at halftime. I would have taken him on maybe then and there. But there you go. Gakpo, outside foot shot, and it's in, guys. 1-0. What a start versus Villa. And things were going to get worse from Villa from here on. And who do you think is going to be the defensive woe again for them? Here, the ball comes into Calvert-Lewin. Look at the space. Number 14 is not doing anything. Calvert-Lewin puts his head up, plays in Gakpo. He uses a burst of pace to get by. Doucouré turns. It's 2-0, guys. It's 2-0, and it's all down to tactical ineptitude and the player's laziness, to be fair, from Reina. It's not like we're targeting him. It's just the way Villa set up. It's asking for it. You're asking to get whipped. And here we go. Doucouré, no toe, no problem, he says, after that injury. What a great finish. A presence of mind to turn and slot it in. It's a great start to this game. And how do you like that, Villa? There you go. You're getting thrashed now, 2-0. That's what I'm talking about. And Villa would try to attack, and they would consistently get by and try to apply pressure. Here you can see they abused that left side very early on, and they were putting multiple crosses in, and we were defending them very well. And again, it falls to midfield for Calvert-Lewin, and look, no pressure on the ball from Raya at all. And he doesn't cut out the passing lane. What is he doing exactly? Because he's not being very helpful as a CDM in that position. Richarlison is let loose, and everything is going in for us, guys. It's 3-0. What a start to this season. This is just scenes at Villa Park. No thrashing this time, Villa fans. We are giving you the business. And this was, again, just down to Reina. At the end of the day, if there was any pressure on the ball, we wouldn't have got into this position with this much ease. And once you get a few early goals, confidence is high. And what a finish from Richarlison. He gets on the scoreboard. This is absolutely great stuff. And we would continue to attack Villa. It's the 39th minute now. We're flying down that left-hand side. And this time it's Allan Saint-Maximin who's just going to absolutely terrorize the Aston Villa defense. And look at this guy's dribbling skills. This man is just insane. It's unlucky not to go in. We have another pop at it, and then Villa is on the counter. And this is how Villa likes to play. Either soak up pressure or clear it, and you're off to the races. And they play it very well here. And look at this. Perfect pass, right? Nope. Koulibaly, the boss that we brought in. Wow, that defensive awareness to get in front of that pass is just... It's the second half, guys, and we are on the front foot yet again. We play a few passes. This is right off the halftime kickoff. Gakpo plays a wonderful ball in here for Alan St. Maximin. He takes like 2 touches, throws a ball in, and Richarlison gets on the end of it, guys. 4-0. How do you like that, Villa? There you go. Who's getting thrashed now? What a goal by Richarlison. That's his second of the game, and this... What a start to the season this is. I mean, this is just insane. And that classic celebration we had from last season that made the intro now, guys. Oh my goodness, what a start. Villa is just getting thrashed. And this is no fault of Reyes this time, but just excellent play. And to be fair, actually woeful defending from the center backs because you shouldn't get beat. At that point, I made some substitutions. Took off some important players to give them a rest. I brought in Cantwell and Townsend. And I switched to a 4-3-3 to shore it up. Unfortunately, Koulibaly ended up on left back and I didn't notice. But actually, it's a very good opportunity to show how good defensively he is. Now, Villa, again, they attack decently well. But here, again, it goes onto the wing. And look at this, Koulibaly. And Villa wants to cross. 1 block. Koulibaly, again, 2nd block. He is a boss. He is showing he is so worth it and just elite. Again, I put him back into his rightful position here. And I bring on Mopai to try him out. And the rest of the game is really going to be about how well we defended. I mean, look at this. Another counter opportunity from Villa. And they move it well. They do. And we have Aarons who comes. He's marshaled out by Godfrey at first. The ball comes in. Look at Godfrey. And times the tackle well. And from here, we play just exactly how we want. Now, look how we switch the play here multiple times. We put out a nice ball here. We see that nothing's going on, and we switch it very fast out to the wing. Aarons gets it, puts a great ball in. Okay, maybe it wasn't that great, but Mopai was there trying to nip in front, and that's exactly how we want to play, guys. But this game, my friends, is over. It's 4-0, and what a start to this season. I couldn't have dreamed of a better one, and it's all in the backdrop of Alan maybe leaving our club, guys. Tune into the next episode. Thank you so much for watching this one. I will see you next time.